Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Well, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to a new edition of Lunch with the Shark. I am your host, Vidal, the Shark CFO Espinosa. And what a week this has been. You'll hear all about my week in future episodes because we're probably going to have a couple of special edition episodes. And I'm actually just putting on the spot my team here. Jesus, put the attention, please, because we might have special edition episodes, maybe for the holiday, maybe for Christmas, or maybe for New Year's, and we'll figure it out. But what a week! What a week! What a week full of developments! What a week full of information. Even though it's almost a eerie week all over the world. It's been a great week. It's been relaxed. It's been full of learning. It's been full of experience. It's been full of success. It's been full of fun. And I'm super excited to tell you all about it in future episodes. So, what have you done this week so far? It's hump day. So, what have you done? What successes have you had that you can share with us? Send us a little message there through Facebook or through YouTube or through LinkedIn or from Facebook or from whatever the hell you want to send it to us, and tell us 5 successes that you've had in the month of December. And remember, as we cover expansion this week, success, it's not just growth, because we probably have realized, like yesterday's episode, that we are going to make more money if we downsize. Generally, we would have more money if we downsize because we're cutting the fat, we're trimming our lean muscles, but we must be very precise when we do so, right? Today, we're going to cover how to consider expanding your catalog of products and or services. You cannot just go ahead and say, fuck it, I am going to start selling muscles, máscaras, face covers, face shields, this shit. You can't. If you're an attorney, are you going to start selling this shit? No, you're not. So you cannot just start selling whatever the hell people put in front of you. You really need to have, again, there's 3 days consecutive that I'm going to say the same freaking word. We must have a strategy based on our lab tests from our company, which are what? Our financial statements, in order for us to consider expanding our catalog of product or services. Ooh, Ana Georgia, right? Oye, mija, your salsa is the most amazing thing in the world. You should start selling it. Go tell Tia Rosita that she can make it more for you. I'm speaking a little bit more like a paisa, but it doesn't work like that, right? Huge successful organizations, they do test after test after test after test. They test the market with different products to see what's going to work. And then you're going to come back to me and say, yes, but they have a shitload of money. They started like you. Every company starts like us, from the bottom up. Every single Fortune 500 company started it just like you. The only difference is that they read and they listened to the market, and they had a strategy, they had a blueprint that they followed. They listened to advisors, they listened to their mentors, they listened to the coaches, and they're in that list. They are in that list. The age-old question that keeps many entrepreneurs up at night is whether to expand into a new category or if you should stick to what has already proven successful. Should I go into this? Should I do this? Should I do this? Data. There is a compelling research for large companies that seem to indicate that in most cases, keeping your product assortment within a narrow brand of what you know, it's the best over time. It is. Keep to what you know. There's a saying in Spanish that says, zapatero a tu zapato. Yeah. Do you know your market? The first and foremost, do you know your market? Or are you like a lot of small businesses? They sell to whomever it's willing to pay. And not just recently, a couple of months ago, I was talking to a really good friend of ours. They're not our clients; they're a really good friend of ours, and they have a wholesale company. We just opened their wholesale business for them, and he was telling me that he was going to start selling to people without a reseller certificate. And I said, well, you need to start selling them. You can, but you need to collect sales tax. And he's like, no, I'm going to absorb the sales tax because I just want to generate sales. Well, I understand you're struggling. I understand that you're struggling. I understand that you want to generate a sale. I understand that you want to grow your business. But unfortunately, you're doing it wrong. Unfortunately, whenever they come back to you, they're going to be expecting that discount or for you to absorb that sales tax. Even if they come again with a seller certificate, they're going to ask you for that discount because you already gave it to them. Because you're so eager, you're desperate. It's not eagerness, it's desperation to generate that sale. Restaurateurs that start by putting out coupon after coupon after coupon. All of a sudden, they stop printing coupons or sending coupons by email, by mail, by however it is. That's it. They're doomed. They're not that clientele that used to go to the restaurant because they had a coupon are no longer going to go. That's it. Right? For small businesses that are starting out or just hitting their growth stride, I wish the answer was a clear cut. I actually find that the answer always depends and truly can be changed based on individual circumstances. If you go to a tax accountant or a tax preparer, you might go, and you ask them a question of, hey, is this deductible or not? And they answered you, yes, I'll make it deductible. Unfortunately, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but they're not a good tax advisor, tax accountant, or tax preparer. Because the answer should be, it all depends. And in what? It all depends in your industry. It all depends in multiple factors. Not because your friend, your neighbor, your comadre, your compadre, your worker, whatever, it's telling you that it's deductible, it's going to be deductible. It doesn't work like that, right? It's the same thing here. It's not a cut, clear answer. Here are 5 things to think about when considering if and how far to expand your catalog. Do you have a natural right to win? What the fuck? Is it logical for you to offer it? That's what this means. Meaning, will your customers understand and believe you're credible in that category? I said it. If you're an attorney, are you going to sell muscles or this chingaderas? No, you're not. Not at least through your law firm. At the Thai bar, they have expanded into other men's accessories such as socks and belts with great success. Thai bar, it's actually a store just for men. They sell just suits, dress shirts, casual clothing, very custom, right? And they actually expanded into socks and belts, accessories, but it actually goes hand to hand, right? Since they already have the credibility of creating amazing outfits, it was only natural for them to start offering those accessories. My sister-in-law, she actually has a boutique, a customized boutique down in Mexico. And she started selling shoes, Ana Georgia shoes, and she's killing it because her offering, when it comes to clothing and when it comes to the good taste, gives her that credibility for her to start selling additional items, accessories, shoes. She didn't do that well with makeup. Why? She did not listen to her clientele. They don't care about makeup. They get it somewhere else. But what they care, it's about the good taste she has, and her buyers, the people that source things for her, have. They trust her with accessories. They trust her with the clothing. They trust her with belts, right? So it was a natural growth for her. She did some research, planning, projection. You should always know your overall brand standards and stick to them. Do you really know your brand? We're throwing you a lot of questions, and not just these 5 things that you need to look into when you're expanding your catalog of services or products. You know your market. Do you know your customers? Do you know your brand? Do you know who you are? A couple of weeks ago, or probably a couple of months, we spoke about this. Knowing who you are. Remember, I think it was last week that we spoke about um, oh shit, I lost my train of thought. Um, I'll come back to me. Sorry. So, well, number 2, do you have the right knowledge? You just because the product makes sense in an internal brainstorm, it doesn't mean you can always pull it off without hurting your overall brand or customer experience. Testing and learning, it's a great way to figure this out, as is hiring an expert in that area to help lead your expansion. Don't underestimate the learning curve when developing and launching into a new product category. Practice makes perfect and won't always immediately pan out the way you want it. How simple is to ask your customers if you're planning of going from, let's continue with my sister-in-law's store, Eugenia's Closet. And let's say that she wants to venture into kids clothing. You pretty much all of us know American Girl, right? Those super expensive dolls that they actually sell, designer custom made outfits for the doll, for the girl or the boy, doesn't matter, who buys that doll. and also the outfit for the mother. What if she was to ask her clients and say, hey, what do you think if I were to bring clothing for kids, right? That matches your outfit? Would you buy it? Would you buy kids' clothes from me? And she can venture into that. The people that she has as the source for her that sells her the clothing, she can probably ask them to send a catalog of items prior to her buying those, showing them to her customers. That's a very good way of her expanding her catalog. But does she have the right knowledge? Who's going to give you the knowledge? Your clients. They are the ones who's buying from you. Not anymore, not anyone else, not even you. Remember, it's not about you. Whenever you step out of the zone of, I want to offer this to my client, this is what I'm offering, this is what I'm offering, this is what I'm offering, this is what I want to give them, this is what I want to give them, and you start listening to what they really want and need, that's when you start making money. Number 3, does it complement your current business? Can you leverage aspects of your current business, like selling to your core customer base, utilizing your existing supply chain, or promoting on your existing retail channels and platforms? Again, with the example of my sister-in-law Eugenia's closet, what do you think? It's a made in heaven transition or addition of kids' clothes that matches the mom. It would be an amazing idea. Now, mind you, it's just an example. I don't know if it would be or not because we haven't done that test. We haven't tested the market. But it's a good idea, right? Maybe if you're selling windows, what would be the most common thing that you think it would need people who are buying windows? Well, blinds, service, repairs, cleaning those freaking windows in the second floor that are a bit impossible to clean. Maybe if you're selling windows directly to the consumer, you offer them a cleaning plan for the next 5 years. Every 3 months, they go and clean the windows. That would be an amazing revenue source. But again, ask your customers. Ask them if they would utilize it. Ask them at what price point would make sense. Ask, ask, ask. Number 4, do you really understand the economics? New categories present opportunities to grow and learn. However, you need to make sure you really understand the economics of the new category. Will you be able to make sufficient margin and dollar profits? Do you? Let's continue with my sister-in-law Eugenia's. And let me tell you one thing. This is all coming spontaneous because I did not know that I was going to speak about Eugenia's closet. But understand the economics. Hey, client, how much would you be willing to pay for the same outfit for your daughter and you? How far can I stretch the rubber band? Maybe she would be making a shitload of money for right now in Christmas if she would be selling the doll, the customer, and the kit and the mother. Would that market sustain it? How do you think American Doll was born? Right? Number 5, do you need to pivot, expand to survive? Holy shit. This year, a lot of companies pivoted. A lot of companies expanded to survive. The restaurant industry. Maybe your restaurant wasn't prepared for delivery. They had to act really fast to pivot so they can expand and survive. Maybe it was an expansion, but it was survival. Okay. Sometimes you just in a dying business and you need to pivot and add new categories to survive delivery. Consider the example of the old bankrupt horse and carriage manufacturer who should have realized they were in transportation business and not the buggy business. Remember, do you know what business you are in? What do you think Disneyland would have done if they would only be in the theme park industry? They're not in the theme park industry, mind you. Think about this. They would be bankrupt by now. There would be no Disneyland, Walt Disney organization by now if they were only in the theme park business. No, they're not. They're in the experience business. They sell you experience, whether it's a movie, whether it's an article, whether it's a theme park, whatever you want from Walt Disney, it's an experience. Okay, so my sister-in-law pivoted in a recession, almost dying industry because nobody's going out where she can, where people can show off their outfits. What does she do? You know what? Let's change from office outfit into a more casual trend. Just like that. Instead of selling high heels, sneakers, loafers, small shoes. I don't know, what the hell, whatever. Things for the house, right? She pivoted. She expanded in growth and supported her survival. If these type of decisions were easy or obvious, you could follow a prescribed formula or checklist. We would not need smart entrepreneurs and leaders to grow and build our businesses for many years to come. My tips above are just top 5 that I personally consider and the tip of the iceberg of this debate. Plan, analyze, understand your business in your industry. Follow us on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, on the search bar, type Invictus Advisors, okay? Select us, and then subscribe to my channel, right? There, you're also going to find our Lunch with the Sharks episodes. And in the new year, we have specials for you. We're going to have nuggets, little bits and pieces of information that is going to be helpful for your business. Remember, accounting, it's not just taxes. Accounting, it's not just doing books. If you think an accountant just does your books and does just do your taxes, you're wrong. Okay? So let's end up today's episode with our quote from somebody very on point with my sister-in-law Eugenia. Actually, follow her, Eugenia's Closet. She has an amazing line of clothing that she can send anywhere in the world. And if you're in Mexico, it's easier, right? Okay. Our quote comes from James Cash Penney, founder of J.C. Penney. And he said, no company can afford not to move forward. It may be at the top of the head today, but at the bottom of the heap tomorrow. If it doesn't, you need to move forward. JCPenney might be dying, like Sears did. Kmart, gone. Montgomery Wards, where are they? Mervyn's. Shake yourself. Get up, check yourself. I sound like Tony Robbins. Get up, check yourself, start learning, and start knowing your company. It's been great seeing you. Bon appetit. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with the Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.